righty then. Should we talk about SmackDown? That'll take about 3 to 5 minutes.
Should we or will we?
Well, we will just so everybody will understand what went on Saturday when they bashed Berlin in. Again, they're in the same building 2 nights in a row. And they've got, they didn't actually say they were sold out for SmackDown on August 29th in Berlin. They said 12,000 plus. And I think the place held 13,000. So point is they sold 25,000 tickets in a same city in 2 days. Plus, got paid, as we're now understanding. It happens for these premium events from the German government in some fashion, the tourism, because they have great drone aerial shots of Berlin, boy. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't think that the place had been bombed in the last century. But they're charging people's firstborn sons for tickets. How much money do you think they made just at the gate and merchandise in 2 nights in Berlin?
The way those people were singing and dancing, they were happy to be there.
I know, they were jumping up and down. To the point where, and this is a wrestler's dream when you go into, they used to call it virgin territory, where wrestling had been dark for a while and there'd been no live events. And then the fans get to come back out. And if you got a good show, they'd go batshit because they hadn't seen anything in so long. Well, these people see shit on TV, but they don't get to see it live that often. And they went batshit. And even the TV audience pretty much saved a lot of this because it was a go-home show where they were already sold out and money's guaranteed mostly anyway. People had made up their minds, so they're filling fucking time. But because of the crowd, they could fill the time by, watching the crowd react to, simple shit. And LA Knight was first one out, got a huge pop. And a huge LA Knight chant. Had a big pop for a "let me talk to you." And all he had to say was, hey, it's been 27 years since the last time we did TV in Berlin, and then milk the chance. And then he mentioned that he won the U.S. title, and they cut him off again. They wouldn't let him get his promo out. They were chanting, "You deserve it." So this was like, he just mentioned the topic and they would chant or sing about it. Am I over-exaggerating this?
No, and again, we've seen this from these international crowds. They're so excited to be there for WWE that it's nonstop. The singing, the dancing, the chanting.
And the most flimsy reason for he's decided, since he defended in the U.S. Capitol last week, he's going to defend the U.S. title in Germany's capital this week, and he calls out anybody. And here comes Ludwig Kaiser, and now I'm fucking interested. Because now they're blowing again. He's a home country. I mean, I'm not generalizing Germany into one town, but he's from Germany, and he's part of Gunther's deal, who's in the main event. They love him. So this is now... they're fucking going batshit who normally would be a job guy coming out or somebody we don't give a shit about. And he speaks German to him and gets a bigger pop. And then puts himself over and cuts a hell of a promo. And they start chanting, "Ludwig Kaiser." They chant with an accent. And then LA Knight cut a hell of a promo and they chanted, "LA Knight, yeah." So they just, like, yes, they're all going to fight. And they have a match. And for the U.S. title. And they cheered, especially at the start, most everything that L.A. Knight did. But they were also, it was the dueling chants and the Ludwig Kaiser chants. And both these guys can work. So the match was good, but the crowd was making it better. And even at one point, instead of L.A. Knight, I think, figured out he's got to kind of be the heel. Instead of doing the heads on the table at that point, he cut him off with a belly to back on the apron. And then every time Ludwig Kaiser would do something, they would blow. And at one point they were chanting something because it's in German. I don't know what the fuck. But the dueling Ludwig Kaiser chants, and LA Knight did the heads into the table and still got over. And they go back and forth at the going into the finish. I love the name. Ludwig Kaiser did the thing where he does the fireman's carry and then does a forward flip and looks like it potatoes the fuck out of your stomach. And they call it the Kaiser roll. Apparently you didn't share the same fucking enthusiasm for that I did.
I mean, he's a heel. You're naming his move after a
after a succulent bun.
Yeah.
But anyway, at that point, boom, when he hit the Kaiser roll and covered, it was a 2 count, but they were 1, 3. They were counting with it. And it got a big pop, and then LA Knight hit a move and they booed. And then when he hit the BFT, they groaned. And they counted 1, 2, 3 and applauded calmly. If Kaiser had a won, they would have blown the fucking roof off. But they didn't want to boo LA Knight, so they kind of, okay, yeah, we guess we knew he was going to win all the time, but we had hope for a minute. Does that sound more like Sweden?
You and these accents, you're not good at this.
Well, Sweden's right next to Germany, isn't it?
You're not good at geography either.
Well, why do they both wear short pants?
In what, movies?
Well, yeah, you got the German guy in the short pants and the Swedish guy in the short pants.
Jim, it's not always Oktoberfest.
Well, whatever festival they have, if they're not next door to each other, well, why have they adopted that same fashion?
The Otto Vons look?
Yes, with the suspenders too.
Like a little schoolboy. Just
I'm a little schoolboy that weighs 424 pounds. But anyway, that was the first match on SmackDown. And would you care to comment on it for your own?
I don't really think there's too much to add to that. It was fine for what it was, a fine open to the show. Really, the story was the location and the fans.
And we're going to skip most of the bleh, because there was some bleh. In the Bloodline video, they had kind of a history package with Solo's dirty deeds, talking about taking out Jay, my brother, and Paul, the wise man, and Roman Reigns.
It was Jimmy, his brother.
Or Jimmy, his brother. Well, they're twins.
But he didn't take out Jay, he took out Jimmy.
Well, how do we know? Could be like with Nikki and Brie. Are they Swizitching?
Again, stop with this. No, but they have different haircuts.
Well, they could have a stylist back there changing thing. We don't know no one will ever know for sure. But taking out Jimmy and taking out Paul and taking out Roman, he dates around. And then he said he wants either Cody or Owens to Solo, whoever wins this thing in Berlin. And that's basically the Bloodline update. And then at the 9 o'clock hour, they had Aldis in the ring and pitching to the European tour video. I think that's probably part of the tourism package that they got. Holy shit. But it made the guys look like big stars. They're all over the world. And then basically Aldis introduces Owens and Cody and says, okay, gentlemen, the floor is yours, and hands them the microphone and gets the fuck out of the ring. Which, what?
He's doing a good job. It's not as chaotic as Adam Pearce's Raw.
Oh, now what? Are you taking Aldis's side now against Adam Pearce? Like, you got a dog in the hunt here?
I think when you look at who's running a more orderly show, Nick Aldis is the winner.
I'm saying it's a bit awkward. It's just, okay, well, now that I've called you guys out here, you take over. And just why nevertheless, it's. Then Owens and Cody had their thing. And honestly, I thought, boy, this is going to be boring or whatever the fuck. This was one of the better things they've done. And I'll tell you why I say that so you can be jotting down all the reasons you can disagree with me. Owens started out with, well, so Cody, what do you want to talk about? And Cody was firing the people up, but Owens had kind of a pissy attitude for a babyface, but you can't really tell the difference in working in real life with him having a pissy attitude for a babyface. But Owens brought up, well, do you want to talk about what happened to your knee on the tour? Or what are you talking about? I wanted to talk about if you meant to hit me with the belt last week, like some people said that they thought you might be gonna. And Owens I can't believe you'd think that of me. But then they vaguely alluded, for the really deep cut fan out there, they vaguely alluded to Owens being the one that hooked Cody up with the Buckaroos for their temporary friendship to start AEW. But then Cody got the fans to cheer for Owens, and Owens again said, I know you're hurt. So if you're not 100%, I don't want to win that way, kind of like was his. And Cody started to get pricklish. What do you mean you're going to win that way? And Cody said, my knee is fine. Well, how come you didn't take a knee on your entrance? He heard that Cody was in a trainer's room for a long time. And Owens said, when I won 8 years ago, my win was tainted. And so therefore, when I beat you tomorrow, and Cody finally is a little pissed, when you beat me, and then Cody, this is what I loved. I love two things about this. They introduced the knee thing to at least give us something to, as Jim Ross used to say, hang our hat on. Is this going to come into play, or this is how he's going to turn on him, or what will happen with Cody, blah, blah, blah. And secondly, Cody cut a hell of a promo on Owens, while at the end of it saying, I love you, dude. It was a great babyface promo. So then finally, and I'll open the floor for you to tear it up, Cody said, when it's over, will we still be friends? And Owens dropped the microphone and whispered something to Cody and walked out on him. And again, I'm interested more than I was in this babyface match because they gave me a little something to sweeten it up a bit. What'd you think?
I thought it was just fine. Again, a little bit more backstory, and the knee thing played into the match, so that was a nice little thing. On this topic, let me ask you
I thought you'd tear it up because Cody got dramatic and Shakespearean in his.
He always does. You got to pick your spots.
All right.
But let me ask you this: word has a rumor is going around that Kevin Owens' contract is coming up again. I think it's about 3 years ago or so that we talked about the last time he signed with WWE. How much money's Tony Khan going to throw at him if that's true?
Oh, good Lord. He'll never work again. He'll retire on what Tony will give him this time. Hold on now.
Because he needs WWE stars, not WWE veterans or anything.
Well, but is the offer going to be before or after the new TV deal is announced? Because that could play a part. You never know in how much money Tony's throwing around. But with Owens being friends with the Buckaroos from way back, and yes, he is a guy that the WWE has been using on top, but you know where his mental sentiments lie with the indie-rific crowd, and that's his brand of wrestling that he'd be doing if he had his druthers. So, yeah, for $5 or $6 million. And I'll be first one to tell you that right now, Kevin Steen would be more valuable to AEW and a more entertaining asset to the television than Okada, Mercedes, and fucking 2 or 3 other recent acquisitions not named Osprey together.
He wouldn't be able to be Kevin Owens anymore. He would have to go back.
No, that's why I said Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
But it's not like anybody's going to mistake nobody else looks like that. It's the goddamn blinding flab alone.
Should he just be Kevin?
No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't.
Here's Kevin!
Kevin! But anyway, and that's all they needed to get a little interest going in this thing, because it's been unorthodox, but they made it work. And as we'll get to when we get to the bash itself, I'll save it for that, because I'm going to talk about the psychology that this match, though. I will preface with this, and then later on we'll come back. This match illustrated what I try to talk about and possibly don't articulate as well as I could, about why that their babyface versus babyface matches in AEW are fucking stupid and do neither side any good involved in it, because of the psychology that they don't use versus the psychology that Owens and Cody used. But we'll save that for the bash here in a minute. But otherwise, on SmackDown, Andrade wrestled Carmelo for a very long time. And to be quite honest, young Harley Quinn came up to me and wanted to go out, and I forgot to hit pause, and I wasn't sufficiently engrossed in it to fucking go backwards and start again when I came back in and realized my error. Did I miss anything?
Lucha action. No, you didn't miss anything.
Lucha! And then the main event was Mia Yim versus Refrigerator Jax in a street fight. Weapons galore, anything goes, lazy booking. And when I saw Mia wheeling a shopping cart filled up with a garbage can, a kendo stick, and a chair to the ring, I said, oh, hell no. And I terminated my viewing of this program. Did I make the right choice?
Yeah, I think you're fine. And that was SmackDown.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what.
Well,
yes.
One last thing. I was kind of surprised. I'm forgetting the date now. Maybe the 18th or something. I was surprised they're moving to USA like right now. It snuck up on me how quick we're there, but they're like in the last episode or two on Fox.
They're doing to what? Who now?
SmackDown. They're going to USA.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Like right now, like in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Oh, shit. Well, can we Googlefy that? Because I need to... They just gave me a new DVR box in the bedroom, but I need to change the TV room also. Because that...
I explained it fine the first time. You said, who did what now? What?
Well, no, this is September, isn't it? Has the goddamn year's almost over.
Wow, September 13th, 2024 is the first SmackDown on USA Network.
Friday the 13th. My mama done told me. Friday that they better hope they're not superstitious. Or actually, they better not. But they better not be superstitious. They shouldn't hope they're not superstitious, because they wouldn't have, if they're not superstitious, they wouldn't have to hope that, would they?
If they're superstitious, they get a license to Stevie Wonder song. Or maybe even the Jeff Beck song.
Well, the 13-month-old baby who broke the looking glass means that they're going to be on USA for 7 years. Is that what you're saying now?
Did I say that?
Starting September, 7 years of bad luck.
Oh, I guess so. Well, that's SmackDown.
Well, now hold on now. So let's recap this, because I got to figure out how I'm going to be watching all this shit. Now, SmackDown is just switching over to USA on September 13th, right? And that's a clean. That's where they're going to be for a while. It's just a clean jump.
That means the next episode is the last Fox episode.
Oh boy, I bet they'll bleep everything. But Raw, NXT is going to CW instead of being on USA.
I think that's October.
That's in October.
And I want to check out the first few episodes of that to see what they do, because they're taking them on the road. I know they're in Chicago with Punk, and then St. Louis with Randy Orton.
Yes.
I want to see what the tone of the show is going to be.
Well, and also one would think you'll have that atmosphere with Punk in Chicago and St. Louis. Besides Randy Orton, all they can claim is Emo's Pizza. So NXT to CW in October on the 1st, and Raw is going to Netflix in January, but where's it where's it going between now and January? Is it staying where it is?
I think they got an extension with USA Network.
They got an extension. Okay, so we're going to have wrestling on USA on the Mondays and the Fridays.
And the CW on the Tuesdays. And the TBS on the Wednesdays.
And the TBS on the Friday. And the TBS on a Saturday.
No, TNT on Saturday.
Or TNT on Saturday. Jesus Christ. I'm surprised that people have time to go to work.
Well, that was
Well, you know what? The thing is now, that's why that most people are working from home these days, Brian, because they don't have time to go to work. They wouldn't have time to watch all the wrestling programs.
There's a lot.
And that's why people have decided to just make themselves their own business. It's easy, folks. All you got to do is come up with an idea or a product or a service that you would like to perform or provide, and then you just sell that to everybody in the world. And you say, well, is it that easy? And I'm here to say, yes, it is, because we know people at Shopify. See, every time that somebody says the word Shopify, not only does an angel get its wings, but some poor sap out there makes some more money. And you don't even have to be very smart, folks. I'm talking to the stupid people out there right now. You don't even have to really have anything worth anything. If you could just figure out a good line of bullshit, Shopify is such a worldwide business platform that they'll be able to sell your bullshit. They could probably sell ice cubes to Eskimos.
Well, you could sell it using their wonderful platform.
Well, yeah, because their platform is so big, and from that bully pulpit, they can pummel the average customer into submission. They will actually, they're so big, they send bullying emails and computer pulses out to the consumer saying you better buy these products or elsewise we're going to come over and beat you up. And so instantly, when you've got these people, it's like working for Al Capone's mob in Chicago.
It's
when you're
nothing like
connected
that.
with these people.
You're not connected with anyone. It's nothing like that.
Well, you're going to be connected with Shopify because they're the #1 checkout on the planet. And they have Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%. That's another way of saying they're going to shake the marks down. And less carts are going abandoned. And way more sales are going because people are scared to abandon those carts because they know that Shopify will track them down and exact revenge. So, folks, if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are, whether they're scrolling or strolling or on the web, in your store, in their in their feed. Print is very small. Everywhere. I'm telling you, they're omnipresent. The platform that Shopify will give you is going to invade people's lives at random. And like a virus, there's nothing they can do to get them out of it.
That's not a way to look at it. That's not the way we're going to look at it. It is a wonderful service. Bring your products to a wide audience and sell them very easily with Shopify.
Yes, they will be broadcast to the most incredibly wide audience. As a matter of fact, like the old TV show The Prisoner. There was the guy, he was in the town and he couldn't escape. He couldn't get away. You'll never be able to get away from Shopify telling people about your stuff.
Well, no, let's not look at it that way. And
they'll put a virtual website hammerlock on these people and make them tap out their money to your store.
They will simply help you sell your goods online, and they will do it well. That's the Shopify way.
That's right. It's called the strong arm method. So, folks, upgrade your business.
It's not that method.
Right now. Upgrade your business. Sign up for your $1 a month trial period at Shopify.com/Cornette. All lowercase is Cornette, even though I'm a big deal, it's in lowercase. Shopify.com/Cornette to upgrade your selling today with our friends at Shopify.com, because nobody does selling better than Shopify.
What about Ricky Morton?
Well, now they're going to start talking about he's selling like Shopify, because Ricky Morton has been replaced.
Well, Shopify, that's right. Ka-ching!
See, you can hear that again.